Good evening, everyone. I am Jennifer. I'm your host of this podcast, Potty Mouth. I am joining you from a Midwest town of Missouri, very small little town. I want to welcome you to my show for the chit chat you just didn't know that you needed. Although tonight, I don't know if it's going to be that interesting. That's right. I'm having a hard time tonight. The internet's not reliable, so it keeps kicking me out. This is probably the 30th time that I have attempted to perform this podcast. But nevertheless, here we go. I am looking to connect with ladies who are just looking for real talk in life, a little bit of babbling, maybe. But let's jump right into it tonight. That I want to talk about the things that I don't like because that seems to be the theme of the evening. It all started whenever my husband got really angry. That's something I don't like. He doesn't eat all day long. And so then when the evening comes, guess who's starving? That's right. My husband. Is your husband like that? Or is it just mine? Anyway, I said, let's go to eat at the local steakhouse. It's newer. So we went up there. We're giving it another try. We've been in there a couple times. And for the most part, it's beautiful in there. They're doing a good job trying. Things are working out a little bit better until a whole family with 3 young toddlers, like, grandma, her kids, every grandkid I think she had that was under the age of 3, and they sat directly in front of us, and those children were screaming. We had already ordered our food. I totally wanted to ask to move. I honestly, I don't know why I didn't. Why not? Whenever I go places, usually, I try to tell them, "Don't sit me by kids." And it's not that I don't like kids. I love my grandkids for a while until it's time for them to go to their parents because my body hurts and I can't chase after them as well as I would like to. So I get wore out pretty easy. But I would not, I just wouldn't. I would not do that to other people. And I hear the moms out there screaming, well, we should be able to take our kids places too. That's fine if you bring some duct tape to put over their fucking mouths. I paid $100 for that meal and I had to listen to 3 toddlers off and on screaming like a little choir over there. Some of the other patrons were showing their little bit of annoyance too. Take them to the car or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's one thing that I definitely don't like. Toddlers screaming at dinner when I'm going to be paying $100 for the meal. Sorry, I need to be able to see that timer up there. I don't want to talk too long because that's annoying too. Some other things that I don't like. I have a little list here that I'm keeping track of. Oh man, I've been having nursing burnout. Not like I'm nursing a baby. I'm too old for that shit. Although, I told Chad the other day, if they start offering that tax credit thing, we might have to have a baby. He looked at me like I grew a third eye. If I did, that would be weird. Sorry about that. Anyway, if they start handing out like $5,000 for a kid and the economy doesn't get any better, I might think about it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Nursing, I work as a nurse and I've been having a little bit of burnout, except for the last couple days. There were some frustrating times, but I did experience pretty cool stuff that normally you wouldn't see. Do I have something on my face? That's just my skin. Okay. A little bit of sunspots coming through there. Have been in the pool, so. Anyway, nursing burnout is a real deal, and my hats off to you young nurses who are out there and you're just like you're feeling it and you're loving it and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this now. I'm going in the cardiac open hearts and yada yada." And After a while, it's like, this is just too much. You just pour yourself into other people all day long. You pour yourself into your family, and then eventually you just kind of feel like your glass is empty and no one's coming back to fill yours. Then you have to learn how to fill your own glass. You can. You can fill your own glass, but you become very aware that you're the one filling it. And you just wonder, when is somebody going to come and worry about if I fall down? I can't get my kids and grandkids to show up here. I think maybe if I buy some cocaine and put out some lines, maybe some of my kids might show up, buy some beer, throw out some cash. Like, hey guys, bring the grandkids over. Send them some Snapchats of that. I'm doing my best. Anyway, nursing burnout is a real thing, and I've been at this since 2008, and now I'm going into everybody's homes, but I cut back to 3 days a week, and that's really helping. It really is. I am enjoying my 4 days off a lot. A lot. It's working out really well. And finally it stopped raining, so we got some sunshine, and we're getting out in the yard. We've got a garden, doing stuff that all the stuff they tell you to do to prevent having burnout. And bless my manager's heart. She tries so hard. She wants us all to be so happy, but I'm like, "Girl, you can't fix this. You can't erase this career path that I took." So, but I believe it has made me a better person. It made me a drunker person for a while, but now I've been sober for 4 years. So hallelujah to that. But I would say nursing burnout and being sober are 2 things together that are just a little bit difficult right now, because having the 4 days off a week, and that means you make less money, so you should put less in your Amazon cart. I noticed that I kinda have a FOMO about my own stuff. Like, I I have I have these items, but I put more of these items in my cart. And then when I go to look at my cart, I'm like, "Why are you putting that in your cart? You already have those items, like, physically in my home already. The Amazon guy's already been here and delivered that more than once." I mean, it's slight variations of the same thing. And don't even get me started on books. Like, I've probably got 6 books I haven't finished. I'm trying. I can't stay on track. I can, but not as well as I used to. And then we have the 2 dogs, the 2 little Frenchies that are, like, basically toddlers, and one of them is obsessed with just whining all the time. She wants someone playing with her constantly, and she prefers it to be me. But anyway, I can't stay on track. So I have my 4 days off. I'm trying not to spend the money, and I'm trying to just really set into the less chaotic life, because that's what I'm driven by, is chaos. And when you're sober, you are very aware of how boring life can be. Don't come for me and tell me that sobriety is not boring, because it is boring. I don't hang out with the people that I used to hang out with anymore, because they're annoying, because they're not sober or whatever. Or maybe they are sober and they were just really bland before, and the drinking just made them seem better. And I am really cutting down on things that I'm kind of addicted to, except for scrolling TikTok, because I have to be addicted to something, and food. Trying to work on that. But just going for walks, to be feeling better and feeling good about yourself and dealing with life. I try. I literally walked a quarter mile from my house. I start hearing this noise behind me. I turn around and when I look, my husband's on his little buggy driving up there. "I got a tick. Get this tick off my back." "I am going for my walk. Go to the neighbors." Got that tick off of him, and he turned around and I looked at him and I said, "I am going for my walk." He said, "I know, but that thing was biting me." Him and his ticks. So anyway, nursing burnout, that's something I don't like. But this week has really been better. But the content that I collected was just amazing. One guy offered me a hit off of his bong because he could tell I was annoyed, but I was annoyed by him because I sat on the side of the road for an hour waiting on him, just waiting on him. He knew the appointment was going to be that day. Then I found out from his friend he had to go to his probation appointment. So then I'm sitting there thinking, is he going to come back? He could have went to jail. His phone stopped working. Wasn't taking calls. I finally gave up on him. I went to the next person's house, come up to the door, and I knew the man was going to have autism because the woman told me the night before, but he had no less than 10 wristwatches on. He had at least 5 watches on this arm and 5 watches on this arm. I literally had to move one to take his blood pressure. He was sweet as he could be, though. For someone who had autism, he was nonverbal, very nice man. But he talked, I mean, he basically, for someone who didn't talk, he was very talkative. He kept you engaged. And I like, he had 2 cell phones. He showed me those things probably 50 times in 20 minutes. He was very refreshing, though, just to see him sitting there so proud with his wristwatch on all the way up his arms. And I just wondered to myself, why is that mom letting him acquire so many watches? So he looks crazier? I don't know. Anyway, their little system worked fine. And then after I got there, the man that had been at the probation visit called me. So he wasn't in jail. So he's ready for his visit. So I have to go all the way back across town. He's wasted a lot of my time. And he can tell, like, I'm just using my mom attitude with him. And he can tell. And he says, "You want to hit off my bong?" I'm like, "Ow." Marijuana would make me paranoid. I'm pretty sure doing marijuana while you're on the job is very, very frowned upon, although I'm sure there's nurses out there that do it. Not this nurse. No drinking on the job, no, nothing like that. So, nursing burnout's been fun this week. Oh, yeah. And I met a guy that had 10 cats. He has 10 cat graves in his backyard because his cats have passed away. And he has 10 graves for them, and he makes the little flower holders out of concrete so that the flowers don't blow away. And that was sweet. He's one of the few people that's actually done the sweetest thing for me ever. When I came to his house the first time, it was raining outside, and he said, it started raining when I was in there. I mean, downpouring. And he said, "I want you to take my umbrella and go to your car. And then after I see you getting your car, I'll come and get the umbrella because I don't want you to get wet, to be soaking wet all day." And I was like, he didn't just, say, "Here, we'll walk together." He said, "No, you take the umbrella and you go to the car," because he could tell, like, it was just downpouring that I would only halfway be covered. And it was just super sweet. And then to know that he has all those graves for his little cats. He got teared up telling me about them. Anyway, he could probably sit next to those screaming toddlers and be just fine. Not this lady. We did have a cat show up in our yard this week, though, and we started feeding it. We'll see how that works out. We named it Sylvie because it's kind of grayish silver, and then it turned around and it has balls. So it's not a boy. It's not a girl cat. It's a boy cat, and it's a bobcat. And so we're thinking about calling it Stubby Stan. I don't know though. It kind of sneaks around and it's a little bit scared, but we've fed it, I think, 3 times now and it keeps coming back. But we have dogs that are probably going to get after it. So I hope Stubby Stan is fast. Anyways, so the nursing burnout. So we got screaming toddlers at dinner. We got the nursing burnout. And the third thing, it's a topic day in, day out around here. It's menopause. Yep. I turned 50 in February, as you know, and the menopause started real heavy. Like I was really for sure in around December, November, December, I think. And I put on about 15 pounds now. You feel me? Mama ain't happy. I'm going to be just this week, I'm cutting out diet sodas because there are some studies out there that say that, like, when your brain interprets that sweet taste on its tongue, that then, oh, right, there's a train coming through. So this may have to be a next episode. I'll probably get dropped again. But anyway, there's a study out there that says diet sodas and, you know, artificial sweeteners like that triggers your brain to pump out insulin despite it being sugar free. It can still cause you to gain weight. So I'm cutting out diet sodas. I'm cutting out some of my protein, like this little protein snack thing that I had. I'm basically going to be down to like egg whites, Greek yogurt, blueberries. That's going to be my meals, and squash because we have the garden and we have a lot of squash. So now that's all I'm going to be able to eat and breathe air. And I'm going to try to do that half the time because I think that could help me lose weight too. I don't know. My body's in total chaos. I am going to go ahead and go to the doctor just because it's bringing me down. I don't want to outgrow my fucking clothes. I don't want to do any more clothes shopping. I already have everything in triplicate, you know. Every color there is, I buy it. So I do not want to have to buy new clothes. Another part of the menopause that's driving me nuts is itchy skin. I always said I could never do that Naked and Afraid show because they'll show where the bugs get on them and stuff, and they're so itchy and everything. Yeah, that's what I feel like. Every time I turn around, I'm like, oh, I got a bug on me. Oh, I feel something crawling on me. Crawly fucking skin. I'm taking Zyrtec. Don't tell me. Take antihistamines. I need like a whole barrel of lidocaine gel to just rub on my body and numb up my skin. It's horrible. And then back on the weight gain thing. If you're a man, don't be telling a woman in her 50s how to fucking lose weight. Just don't do that. Do you know how ridiculous you sound? First of all, you've never had a fucking period. You can drop 5 pounds in 10 minutes. Like, don't. And especially if you're a bodybuilder. That's ridiculous. Don't tell me to do intermittent fasting either. That's intermittent fasting. This is probably as long as I've gone without a snack before. So, another part of that, the itchy skin, the weight gain, memory. And it's not so much, I mean, it is the memory, but it's like I've got so much stuff in this house, and then I get the bright idea I need to straighten it up or reorganize it. I might as well take some video of myself. Like, that's what I should do is just put up video cameras in every room with playback. This is actually really smart. Playback on it, and then Chad and I both can just play back this video and see where the hell we put our shit. Constantly, I'm like, I don't know where I put that. I can't remember where that's at. I thought I had it over there and I don't have it there. And I've always been the person who could find everything. Like, if there was one pink paperclip in this house amongst 50,000 silver paper clips, I would be able to know exactly where that pink paperclip was, plus all the other 50,000 silver ones. I just knew I always put things back where they go. And now I just have so much stuff and I'm trying to get rid of some stuff. I have it strung from here to there to everywhere. And oh my gosh, the stacks of paper and what I'm supposed to be doing. The memory's horrible. I'm getting through it though. I can tell you some of the upsides are that I'm no longer judging myself in ways that I used to judge myself. I used to kind of be like pretty harsh on myself, not really harsh on myself, but like stand up for myself so strongly that I was a teenage mom. Like that was just who I am. And I'm just like trying to overcome that disappointment that I don't know what it is. I'm not disappointed in the kid. Never. He was one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me and still is. But in a few, like in 5 more years, 5.5 more years, he's going to be 40. People don't care anymore that I was a teenage mom. So I'm like, why am I even identifying as that anymore? You know? And the weight gain, it's it's okay. Like I'm not going to be winning any pageants or anything, but at the same time, I don't care. If my clothes will fit, I do not want to buy more clothes. And so, do I hate menopause? Parts of it. I think it would be more doable if my husband lived somewhere else with the dogs. Sorry, not sorry. I feel like more than ever, he is a giant toddler or a 9-year-old. He's either a toddler, is he cranky because he hasn't had anything to eat? Or he's a 9-year-old. Mom, can I get this? Mom, can I go here? Mom, I'm going to do that. It's like everything's all about him. And I really just want to tell him to shut the fuck up sometimes. I mean, I do tell him, but not as much as I should because he's just used to me being the nurse wife. He's just used to me being available to him all the time. I literally am having to. And then he's like, oh, sorry. Yeah. Don't open the fucking door if it's closed, okay? And my daughter, if she ever gets her ass back on the show, we can talk about it. But I really don't think she's going to show back up for me. That's okay. Menopause is just like whatever. If she comes over here and gets my dogs riled up one more time, I'm going to go out there and slash her fucking tires. She comes in this house, she yells at the dogs and gets them all stirred up, and they're making a lot of goddamn noise. And it just about sends me over the edge. This time I told her I've tolerated it and tolerated it and tolerated it. She's 25 years old, for crying out loud. I don't go over to her house and do that shit. Anyway, there's been some positives this week. The sunshine's been out going strong, and I was able to swim around in the swimming pool. We have an above ground pool amongst um, our property, and my husband does keep it very clean and sparkly. And I have the most awesome pool floaty this year. I'm kind of addicted to those. I have a lot of those, but this one is probably my favorite by far. It's really wide and it's long and it's so comfy. So Jennifer has just been taking time to relax in the pool. I've been enjoying music a lot more than I have in a long time after I got finally had the money to buy Spotify. In this economy, who can buy anything really? But that's just a short list of the things that I do not like. Maybe we'll expand on that. Maybe you have something you don't like. Maybe you can share with me some of the things that you're just sick and tired of. Notice how we did not add anything. Like, I wanted to use the news to talk about some stuff, but guess what's in the news all the time? I mean, it's important stuff. I get it. But it's all the time. All the time we're having to hear about the president. So I think it's just going to be refreshing if we talk about some of those other things that are affecting us on our local level. And when I mean local, I mean like in our living rooms, in our kitchens, in our bedrooms, in our front yards. That's what I'm talking about, local girls. It's all about you. It's all about me. If you got something you want to chit chat about, drop it in my comments. Maybe I'll finally get one. I'll get there someday. I might just be sitting here talking to this camera and no one ever watches. No one ever hears what I say. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'll see you next time, everybody.